Well, what can be said? Facebook bans UK far-right groups and leaders. Now, let's go back in time a bit. 2014. Set the scene. 2014 is the first time I'd heard of Britain First. And I seen a video called, I think it was Storm the Mosque. It's not Rush the Mosque, not attack the mosque. I don't think they're that fucking crazy. But it was like, and it was them just rushing into mosques and going, "Here, have a Bible, learn about Jesus Christ. What are you doing about pedos?" Like, and I was just like, these people are mad, disrespectful wankers. And that was it. I was like, like not even taking your shoes off, going to a mosque, just bothering people, going, "What are you doing about all this?" It's like, who are you? Why are you here? And I thought to myself, imagine a bunch of Muslims storming a church. Say it was a Catholic church, saying, "What are you doing about all you bloody paedophiles, you bastards? Learn about Muhammad." And after that, I had a serious issue with them. And by the way, I don't like doing that. What if-isms. I really hate it. Imagine if a white person said this. Imagine if a black person said this. I mean, it's like the fact is, we should all know, like, it's bullshit. You should know not to be going around being a dickhead like that. We should all know this. But it seems to me that these days, there's a serious lack of adults. Where have all the adults gone? There's a serious lack of adults on planet Earth, and they seem to need stuff explaining to them. It worries me that sometimes I can be in a room full of grown-ups, and I'm the only real grown-up there. Me. I have no responsibilities. I just bawl. All I do is bawl. It's concerning. But anyway, and I went on a thing against Britain First and made a few comedy videos about them, just ridiculing them. But that was it, just ridicule, because I found it quite amusing. They were just walking around having a go at religious extremists, and acting like religious extremists at the same time, like walking through Luton with a white cross with Jada Franson going, "This is a Christian country, man!" Like going, "Alright, chill the fuck out, baby." And Paul Golding thought he was just a massive potato-headed asshole, and I still do. And I think at that sort of stage, if someone had come out and said, "We're going to ban these people," I might have been in agreement. But you grow. The fact is I know for a fact, that the establishment were out to sort of definitely bring down Britain First, for one. When they're screaming conspiracy about constantly being shut down, all the arrests that's happened, and yada yada yada, it's valid. It's valid. The issue is, people have a right to think how they want and to share opinions, because if you like it or not, some of the opinions and the way they, some of the opinions and the facts that they put forward might be true. It might be accurate. It might be important. I know, scary, isn't it? Fucking terrifying. But that's life. That is the great tapestry of life. And I find it concerning that they would be shut down, because throughout history we have gone against the grain, because at the time it wasn't popular, wasn't this, blah blah blah. I mean, just look at, let's say, in the UK as an example. I don't want to use any American examples. Poof to America. Poof. Homosexuality has been legal for like 50 years. Imagine all the campaigners for homosexuals. Imagine the sort of shit they had to go through to get there. And everyone's like, "No, it's wrong. It's against the Bible." Blah 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 blah. I'm saying is, they be shut down because it's unpopular, or they think it incites buggery or some shit. Yeah, Britain First are bothersome, but they're laughable. They're a joke. Like, they're really laughable, and they don't really incite much. You had that case with Joe Cox, where the guy said Britain First. But like, Britain First is a very clever name because it's just like a statement. It's basically a statement. We don't know what was going through that lunatic's head when he shot that poor woman. We don't know. We have no idea. No one knows. He's a fucking loon. Loons say a lot of things. About as much gravitas to that statement as fucking Christchurch. She was shouting subscribe to PewDiePie. He said he was, the ultimate meme edgelord. So do I think they should be banned from Facebook? No, and a hell of a lot of people share their memes. I mean, Britain First are very good with memes. They tapped into meme culture quite well. Same as like ISIS were very like media savvy. Just always, I'm not saying they were good memes, but they used them effectively because loads of people would share them. I see people sharing them, and I'd say to, oh, hey, people who, this is always like, wear a poppy on, Remembrance Day. Sure, if you agree it's a disgrace to ban poppies or what, just some patriotic shit, and people share it and not really know like the place they're sharing it from, like the people who did it are fucking nutters. You know what I'm saying? But like, I got no problem with them sharing a fucking meme about Remembrance Day or something like that. And I have no problem with people criticizing halal meat or whatever it is. Too much, way too much power is given to religious groups. They are way too protected because at the end of it, we're in the 21st century now. Like, well, why do we pander to people who believe who go about their life to the letter sometimes of something written thousands of years ago? You know what I mean? Religion is complicated, it's nuanced, it gives people many good things, but at the same time, some of them need to chill the fuck out. Now, in a way, I mean, with Britain First, I see them going up against Anjem Chowdhury, and all I saw there was two very fringe bunch of nutters. You got an Islamic extremist who's a bit of a troll, who quite happily have the ISIS flag flown over Buckingham Palace, and then you got Britain First going up against them. I was like, do you know what? Let's just leave them to fuck each other up. Like, as long as they don't bother us, the moderate non-lunatics, just let them fight it out. Nutter against nutter. You see two nutters fighting in the street, just leave them to it. Good for you, boys. Have fun. Like Nick Griffin, look at him. He's such an unfortunate looking fuck. He looks terrible, doesn't he? But look at Jada, smoky eyes. I don't think these people should be banned from Facebook. If you're gonna ban like extreme sides, political spectrum, then ban them all. But don't ban them all. I mean, they're entitled. People think all kinds of crazy stuff, right? I don't mind people thinking the earth is flat, right? It's just, if they start fucking talking to me about the earth being flat, or say I'm asleep because I don't believe it's flat, then I'm going to tell them to go fuck themselves, and say, alright, you do you, waste your time. But I'm not going to ban them. You can't just ban everything. It's unfortunate, and some people are like, good. Well, the thing is, one day your opinion is going to be unpopular and you're going to get fucking banned. Like, you can't let totalitarianism come in. This is what I kept saying to people who wanted to ban the burqa, right? I think burqas are weird. I got no problem with people wearing burqas. I haven't had 100%. Look at me, I'm always scratching my ears, isn't I haven't got 100% knowledge and evidence that it is oppressive or it isn't oppressive. I've talked to people wearing burqas who wore them. I don't know. I don't know. Now I know there are some issues with security and surveillance, but you know. But I'm not going to ban them. I'm not going to call for a banning on them for two reasons. One, ain't none of my fucking business. Two, you can't just ban garments, because where does it stop? You're going to ban hoodies? That's what I say to people. I kept saying, yeah, but we set a dangerous precedent if we start banning like outfits. Do you know what I'm saying? We start banning outfits, saying, no, you can't wear that, no, don't wear that. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Because this will get to a stage where people either, one side going to want to ban burqas, another side going to want to ban fucking anything with a frog on it. Look down there. Oh no, it's there. There's a frog, right? Because it represents, because 4chan decided to troll the whole world into believing it means white supremacy. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, let's not become nutters. And the whole far right thing is like, I mean, these motherfuckers are nothing. There's nothing. Like, it's Britain is a joke. It's a joke. It's a meme in itself. It's a meme, and you just give them more power, and you give more power to the people who believe in this kind of shit, this approach. Like, by all means, criticize Islam. That's fine, but like, it's the way you go about it. It's the way you go about it. And the thing is, there is a problem where there's a double standard, and a lot of people are afraid to speak out against Islam, and a lot of people are shut down because they speak out against it, and a lot of people get labelled far right, and all the people who have concerns about it, and they justly have concerns, because let's not forget, we've had almost 2 decades of constant fear from the media, especially about Islam. Like, all we've seen is just fucking terror for so long. People have grown up not knowing what it was like before 2001. And I always say this. I've always said to people, you want to stop labeling people racists. You want to stop shutting people down, telling people they can't say that and they can't say that, because you will push them over there. When the only champions are people like this, then you're going to have a fucking problem. But fortunately, it's not turned out, because of 2014, I thought we were going on a real dangerous path. And nowadays I'm just like, it's been overhyped. Like, terrorism was overhyped, even though it was pretty bad. Don't get me wrong. Like, up until a few years ago, it was like rampaging up. ISIS influenced terrorism was going fucking crazy across the world. Like, really, really spiked. But it was never as bad as they made it out to be. And the far right thing, sure as hell ain't. Trust me. Honestly. And it's just, that's all I can say. I'm going to keep saying the same thing over and over again until people start listening. It's like we're constantly distracted by problems that aren't the real fucking problems. Like, the real issues are right there, but then someone comes here and goes, "Ugh," and sticks this in your face, and this is what this kind of shit is. It does man up. And it's like, everyone's just fucking brainwashed. But let's have a read of this. Let's try and chirp up, shall us? Facebook has imposed a ban on a dozen far-right individuals and organisations that it says spread hate. Well, plenty of people spread hate. Hate is spread in many different ways. As if the human emotion hate isn't allowed. You're not allowed to hate stuff. Oh, there's people and ideas you're not allowed to hate. Well, what is it? There's plenty of hate. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, the ban includes the British National Party. I thought they were gone. And Nick Griffin. I thought they were defunct now. Maybe they just have a Facebook page now and that's it. The English Defence League and the National Front. The National Front's still around. They had a Facebook page. Oh, that does surprise me. This also includes Britain First, which was already banned, but this latest action will prohibit support for it on any of the US firm services, so you can't even support it. Damn, man. It said it had taken the action because those involved had proclaimed a violent or hateful mission. Weird thing about all this is that, I think even with Tommy Robinson getting banned, they said he was inciting violence. but there is no real evidence of him doing it, as far as I know. And you know this because you would have heard about what he'd said, because they constantly put out what stuff he said. So if he'd actually said, something mad, you know about it, and he'd be banged up for it, for sure. So, individuals and organizations who spread hate or attack or call for the exclusion of others on the basis of who they are have no place on faith. What a strange statement. Individuals who spread hate or attack or call for the exclusion of others on the basis of who they are. What if they're a fucking paedophile rapist? But that's who I am. That's fucking, how vague and stupid. Like, come on, can we have a bit more, please? The social network added in a statement. Well, that's a very good statement. The BNP bring on Brexit. Oh, how controversial. Britain First and its leader, Paul Golding, and former deputy leader, Jada Francis-Leban, English Defence League, and its founding member, Paul Ray, Knights Templar International. Oh, Knights Templar. See, I used to go through a lot of these things, these pages. So it's just bring back a memory of my research from 2014, the Knights Templar. These scary looking shit on theirs, like all dressed up in knights and they were pretty fruity. National Front and its leader Tony Martin. I did not know the National Front was still operating. Jack Renshaw, a neo-Nazi who plotted to murder a Labour MP. Well, if you're a neo-Nazi and you plotted to murder someone, probably going to get banned. A spokesman for Facebook clarified what would now be done to the pages the groups and individuals had run on its site. All those named would be prevented from having a presence on any Facebook service. In addition, praise and support for the groups or named individuals would no longer be allowed. We just, I know it's hard to cap, but we just can't have this. You just can't have this. I'm sorry, you just can't. Sadly, you got to be in a state to defend these motherfuckers. This is what you want to do to us. You want us to defend these pricks, but we'll have to. Cause shit, when the fuse gets lit, you want to be there to stamp it out before it fucking blows up the bomb. You can quote me on that one, baby. The ban was long overdue, said MP Yvette Cooper, chair of the Home Affairs Select Committee. For too long, social media companies have been facilitating extremist and hateful content online and profiting from the poison, she added. Well, they probably have been profiting from all kinds of poison. That's how it works. They have particularly failed on far-right extremism, as they don't even have the same coordination systems for platforms to work together as they do on Islamist extremism. Well, far-right extremism is just minuscule compared to even now everything's calmed down a bit. It still pales into insignificance compared to Islamist extremism. No matter what they try and say about it, it's a nonsense. And it concerns me why they want us to think that way. You just got to think, well, why? What is the end game of all this? What's the end game? That's what it's all about. Because if they're going to take their eye off it, like 2 years ago, I'll keep saying it, only 2 years ago they said, there's 30,000 potential extremists, Islamic extremists in the UK, dormant people who are on a watch list for the security services. Now apparently that's nothing. Now apparently we've got to watch out for the far right. And who are they? It's fuck all of them. They say, National Action. There's 100 members nationwide. Compare that to the numbers they were saying a few years ago. And what were they saying? Police were like, we need more funding because of all the Islamic terrorism. We need more funding. The reason it's happening is because we haven't got enough funding. And now what do they want? We need more funding. We need more funding to combat. You see? Fucking police. All these people, it's always about it's just about them. It's not about us, the people who are supposed to be protected. Do you know what I mean? And that's what it'll be. You have got all these organisations getting loads of money pumped into them because they're attacking, going up against this existential threat of far-right extremism and white supremacy, and like it's such a small threat, and it's hardly exists. It's so minuscule. But then you have people believing that 17 million people, whatever it was, who vote for Brexit are just all racists. It's like, really? If 17 million people in the UK were all actual racists, you'd be seeing some shit every day. You'd be seeing some mad shit. All like, come on, man. That's what I think of that. Hey, Ms. Cooper said the measures were a necessary first step and should be strengthened by independent regulation and financial penalties for firms that were sluggish to remove material. See, man, this is what they do. We all know the appalling consequences there can be if hateful, violent, and illegal content is allowed to proliferate. Yeah, well, we all know the consequences when you start fucking banning and censoring everything and putting your foot on the necks of organizations. We know what the next step of your fucking plans are, sweetie pie. Okay? This is not the first rodeo for civilization of people clamping down and taking stuff away. Yeah? It's silencing voices. This is how it starts. So please pipe down, my lady. So the current action, said Facebook, went further than the restriction placed on Britain First last year. Its official pages were removed for breaking the site's community standards. The latest move comes soon after Facebook said it would block praise, support, and representation of white nationalism and separatism. Well, you should ban it for, like, for black separatism. Get rid of the Nation of Islam then. That's what I say. Like, be consistent. You got Louis Farrakhan going on about Jews being termites, like consistently anti-Semitic for fucking decades, right? And he's got way more influence, and it's like, you're talking big celebrities like stand next to Farrakhan. Loads of people stand next to Farrakhan. People who are like elected politicians in America stand next to Farrakhan. The disgusting stuff that comes out of his crazy old mouth. Where's his ban? Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, we don't want to upset the Nation of Islam. Well, fuck the Nation of Islam. Upset them. Because if what they're doing is disgusting, what he's doing is disgusting, be consistent with who you're banning. If you don't want Britain First sharing their whack memes about Islam, then don't we have the Nation of Islam going on about Jews being the scourge of civilization, being responsible for all the ills of the world, being responsible for everything that's wrong with their society and their life. Be consistent, because that's disgusting. Where's the outrage there? Not a lot. You know what I mean, I'll happily be outraged at Britain First about their nonsense, and I have been for years. But fucking come consistent with me, my friend. Like, because I cannot, because it really bugs me that you will shut certain people down, but you have Louis Farrakhan there standing fucking spouting nonsense. Shame on all of you. Anyway, some controversial figures such as Tommy Robinson are already subject to bans on the social network. Well, I've said what I've said, and I'll be saying it again and again. Hey, check out my comedy video I did about Britain First on the Broncoland channel. Britain First party political broadcast. It is the greatest Britain First parody ever made, and we've done a couple of other ones as well. So check them out. It's good. It's still, I look back at it and think, there's some elements a bit cringy, I could have done better. But in general, it's bloody hilarious. And it was always, I always loved doing my Britain First comedy videos against them. It was good times, man. It was good times. It was simpler times. But now, obviously, we live in a ludicrous world of nonsense. Never thought I'd say I want to be back in 2014, but There you go. Anyway, see all that? Check it out. All that down there? Check it out. Click, click, click. Go on, like. All that stuff you got to do. Because you got to do it. Because I am the last stand of reason on this fucking planet of nonsense.